Once Upon a Time in America is a 1984 crime epic directed by Sergio Leone and starring Robert De Niro and James Woods. And you've probably heard, or you're probably even seen, The Godfather and Goodfellas, and they are rightfully so considered to have the best crime dramas of all time. But if it were for my money, I'd say Once Upon a Time in America is just as deserving of being held right up there with those two classics. This is as epic as films can get. This is sprawling from the childhood of a young petty criminal to his adulthood to his later years where he's very old and sad. This is the story about America, an America that is changing, an America that is growing, an America that is corrupt, an America that is hopeful. This is Sergio Leone's masterpiece, his best film, and this is also, in an elegant way, his last film. And this is long. It is maybe a hard watch to some people, but trust me, it is very much worth your time. And Once Upon a Time in America, when compared to his other films, it is his only non-Western, non-historical film that he's made. Well, it is a period piece, but it is set in this century, in the 20th century, not in like the 18th century or in Greek times, whatever. This is very much his most modern film, and for a film made in 1984, where you had no CGI at all, the way he reconstructed old-timey Brooklyn, old-timey New York, it's nothing short of masterful, of perfect. It's incredibly lifelike, and the story itself, as I've said, it's an epic tale. It starts from kind of the end of the story. You have Robert De Niro, who is almost being assassinated, and he has to go away from America, and then you see him come back years later when he's much, much older, and he's starting to look back at his young life. He's exploring New York, he's exploring the areas of his childhood, and yes, really long and detailed flashbacks. And first of all, be sure to watch the uncut edition, the original version of the film, because it was cut down brutally for theatrical release in the US, and that's just a big fat shame, because this is almost 4 hours long and it needs all of them. Because similarly, in a way, to Once Upon a Time in the West, this is not a film that is driven by a plot. This is a film that is driven by its characters. And the more scenes you have with those characters, the better. And there is so much history in this, between the young Robert De Niro character with James Woods, their friendship, but also the love for a woman. And there are some hard-to-watch scenes, there are attempted rapes, there are brutal murders, it's quite a bloody film to watch. But there is also a strong sense of nostalgia, maybe even nostalgia of Sergio Leone's childhood in a way, because it does feel very personal, it does feel very earnest, and the melancholy on display is outstanding. Also thanks to the soundtrack by Ennio Morricone, it's masterful. It's one of those films that you could talk endlessly about it, and you could also say absolutely nothing, because the pure experience of watching this film, just sitting down and letting it all sink in, it's incredible. It's truly incredible. And those 4-hour movies can get really tedious sometimes, they can have some slow moments, and this one does as well, don't get me wrong, it's not a perfect film by any means. But every scene matters, every scene feels important, every moment you spend with those characters, you get to know them better, you get to understand their motivations better. And there is something oddly fascinating in seeing a person look back at his whole life, regretting some things, savoring others, being thankful of what he's had. It's incredible. And Robert De Niro's performance, as well as that of James Woods, they give some of the best work here. I wouldn't even know if this is considered underrated, because it is not. It is in IMDb's top 250, Letterboxd top 250, but I do believe that it's not as talked about as many other crime epics So if you love The Godfather, if you love Goodfellas, if you love those crime dramas with constant murders, assassinations, whatever, you're gonna love this film. And while I do prefer The Godfather by a lot, I do have to say that I do prefer this over Goodfellas. All three great films, all three also different films in terms of style, but Once Upon a Time in America, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant piece of cinema. But still, guys, have you watched Once Upon a Time in America, and which is your favorite crime drama epic? Tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.